Good.
One the thing. Um, your start or my start? I'm glad you wrote.
It is your start. Yeah, pretty
You,
sure.
were you imagining it like the Bone Thugs and Harmony intro? You were writing that?
No, no, it's because of the team names or the villain's name.
Oh, okay, sure. Oh, in my head, I was like, when I watched you write that, I was like, you referencing Bone Thugs? My man.
No, no, no. I'm referencing the song.
Okay, I was like, my
Yeah.
man, dude, I haven't listened to Bone Thugs and Harmony in a hot minute. All right. On this episode of This Is Game Boy, this is what it sounds like. Bots cry. I still don't know. You told me 1,000 times what I'm
Action Man on Game Boy Color.
Game Boy podcast using a Game Boy Color sound.
Yeah.
We had a Game Boy Advanced music tribute open up. What has life become? All right. Hello, everyone. Live episode. So if you're watching this live, hello. RGO chat. Hello, everyone. If you are listening to this later on via YouTube or SoundCloud, hello to you all as well. I'm eBloodyCandy, and with me, as always, for the bigger episodes is Bulla.
Hello there.
You even waved. Pleasing the
Yeah.
crowd. Pleasing the crowd.
Sure.
Pretty somewhat busy ish month or so. You know, we had the Archie Love, had Light episode out,
Yes.
the Mega Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, a bit busy, honestly. So, and it's very, you can tell by the notes, pretty busy. So, starting with you, Mo, what have you been up to?
Yeah, I'm just continuing the trend from like a lot of episodes lately. When we come to this part, like I haven't been doing much. Uh, Also, my apologies if I look and sound exhausted, depending on if you're just listening or if you're watching. Like I had a week. Um, it was a good week. Don't get me wrong, but wow, I'm like exhausted at this point. So, um, and then last night I didn't sleep because I drank maybe a little bit too much. And that usually doesn't result in good sleep. So hopefully I can just get 8 hours this night, and then I'll be completely fine again. Um, so yeah, maybe I will drift off sometimes. Just wake me up when if I do. Really, my
I
apologies
fell
for that.
asleep on stream last night.
Oh
Worse than
yeah,
that.
okay. No, I don't think it will come to that, but I might take some time to even more time than usual to come up with words, or I can just completely lose track of what I'm saying because my brain isn't working properly. But yeah, I haven't been playing much because, like I've said in the previous episodes, like since I started working, I just don't really. I have time, but I want to do something else when I come home from work and sit behind a TV or play games. So usually I only play in the weekend. I did a few streams for portable pleasure. That is, I played Pocahontas, which it's not a good game at all, but it's at least an interesting game because it's like it kind of ties into this game, but also not. But it's like one of those games like Another World or maybe even Apes Odyssey or Apes Escape. No, It's apes. No, Ape Escape is a total different different thing. Yeah,
Oddworld,
Apes Odd,
Age
yeah,
Odyssey.
Oddworld. That's it. Yeah, that's the franchise. So it kind of starts like that, but you have two characters you can use, so you have to like work together to solve the puzzles. Maybe like Lost Vikings, even a little bit, if you know that game. But after 5 stages, it drifts off from that concept completely. It's not always very explained well what you have to do, but you can figure it out because I mean it's definitely made for kids because it's Pocahontas, and I mean they wanted to get everyone in, and it just follows a story of the movie, I assume, which I've never seen, so I couldn't tell you, but I assume it does. And it has weird pacing and things like that, but it's nice to check that game out, but there's nothing very special about it. So just an interesting concept at least. And now I started playing Monster Max, which I believe only came out in Europe. I think it's actually a Titus published game, just published because it was actually made by Rare. Uh, like a lot of games back in those days, like a lot of the LGN games were made by Rare, uh, and I guess Titus as well, because both companies are from Europe. I think Titus is French, right? Might be, or English. I don't know. And
I think
Rare
it's
is from the
French.
UK. Yeah, I think it's French. So yeah, they outsourced this game, unlike Titus that they made themselves, like Titus the Fox, they made themselves. Monster Max is it Solstice basically. Maybe a little bit simpler. I don't know. I've never played Solstice. It's just an isometric puzzle game, puzzle platforming game. If nobody has ever played Solstice or this game, you basically can you go through an isometric map and you have to platform while using items that you can find around the map, but you can only hold two items. So the A button has an item and the B button has an item, and you have to like think what you pick up for the room so you can advance through the room. Um, yeah, it's a fun game. It's a little hard for me. I'm never good at isometric games. Like the perspective just never makes sense in my head. I'm sure that's the same for a lot of people. Uh, I can never figure out what plane things are on. So it's a lot of trial and error, but that doesn't really matter because you have a limited continues, but you do have to restart the stage every time. But it's always like short stages. I would say 20 to 25 rooms in total, with some rooms just being hallways to get to the next part of the stage. So once you figure out what to do, you can go through it quickly, but it's the figuring out part that will probably take a while. I think it has 30 stages in total. You don't even have to do all of them because of how the currency system works in the game. Um, like I'm not gonna explain that further. Maybe it's a fun game to do an episode on because it is quite unique for Game Boy. So maybe we can dive into that another time once I finished it because I'm totally not done with it yet. But yeah, it's a fun game and it has good music because like David Wise composed the songs, so you at least have a good soundtrack even if the game is nothing for you. And besides that, my personal game, I guess, my not streaming game. Still playing God of War Ragnarok whenever I can. I might be like 30% done with it. I think I have no clue, but I play it so sporadically that I keep forgetting how to fight properly. So I switched the difficulty from the normal setting down to story. I think it's called, or give me story or something. Um, yeah, just because I don't have the time to deep dive into it or play it for a longer period. I always have to wait in between, and I was getting not mad, but I was getting annoyed that I constantly had to relearn how to fight properly without dying. So I just switched it to story so I can just enjoy the game because the story is really cool. I can just have fun with it to relax a little bit instead of like trying to be actually good at the game, I guess. But I like that the game has that option. Because normally I would never do this. I would probably even play on the hardest difficulty to give myself a challenge. But the way I have to spend my time now with games, um, it's nice to have the option to enjoy the game without having to do the hassle, I guess. So, um, well, yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing. So yeah, it's been what over a month, and I've played two and a half games, something like that. So yeah, that's about all I have.
A bit more than what I've done, honestly. At least you've.
One, which was
It's more
an
than
hour
me.
long game. Yes, yeah.
Um, WoW Classic, per usual. I raid days, Thursdays, and Sunday afternoons. Um, RG Love. Just wrapped up RG Love. Did
Oh yeah.
Jazz Jackrabbit for the Game Boy Advance. And into my archipelago. Well, I guess I'm in an archipelago right now. We just released a new Link to the Past and together. They're doing
Hmm.
like Time Spinner, Link to the Past, for Metroid, the Link to the Past Super Metroid combo thing, uh,
Hmm.
Terraria, Minecraft. I think this is one of our bigger. Um, and then honestly, I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy. I've absolutely loved that game.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm on the road to platinum it. I'm like 80% through everything. I haven't beaten the game itself yet because there's side stuff to do. But I absolutely fortunate the stuff that the controversies around it. But
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I actually forgot about RG Love, even though you did mention it like 5 minutes ago already. But I did okay. I did play three other games then. Like I played through Kirby Superstar. Uh, I only picked casual games because it was a marathon about playing games you love. So I just wanted to play games I love. So I eventually beat during the second stream that I had to do. I beat Kirby Superstar. I played through Skyblazer, which went amazingly well. I really like that game. It's so good.
fun game, yeah.
And then I like picked Mylon Secret Castle on NES. I talked about it last time that I played the Game Boy version, and I think I mentioned play the NES version because it moves faster and you have color and things like that. Let me go back on that. Just play the Game Boy version because the NES version will piss you off. Oh my god, everything went wrong with that game. Yeah, no, play the Game Boy version. It's more, it's more polished. Like it's more fun to play that, even though it's laggy, I guess. But yeah, no. Game Boy Mylon definite version.
Yeah, my line. Don't play the. I like the NES.
Yeah, me too. But like now, when I have played the Game Boy version and everything was going wrong with the NES one, I was like, nope, nope, never again.
The real question is NES Dragon's Lair or Game Boy
I have played neither, so
or
I
Game Boy
cannot comment.
Color Dragon's Lair. Because about that damn. A 5 minute game. It's supposed to be like a 5 or 10 minute game on Game Boy Color. It turns into like a 5 hour game because it doesn't tell you the directions to press in the Game Boy Color version. So they give you two options. They give you main game and they give you training. But if you do the training mode, they only train you on like 4 screens. Game is longer than 4 screens. So it's just a bunch of trial and error bullshit. I hate the Game Boy Color version of burn every damn copy of that. I love the NES version. I have yet to play the I
Yeah,
haven't played the game.
yeah, that nobody likes that one, but three complete different games, by the way.
They
But
are. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
crazy part. 3 completely different games. The Game Boy
Mm,
Color is
mhm.
closer to the NES. Still the same story, but different approach.
Yeah. I think the Game Boy one was actually another game, but they put the license on it or something. But if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I think that was the case for that one.
Or they just didn't know what the Dragon's Lair was and put a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, like I said, we got a banger of an episode this time around. We're doing Shippuu Iron League, which is based off of a very popular. Stay tuned. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna give you history. Players in my ears. All right. All right. Mega Man. How good the music. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Shippuu Iron Leaguer. Kind of in the middle of the road release for the Game Boy. Come out in March 11th, or as a Japanese anime. I think the anime came out in 1993, and for the original anime out in 93, 52. The original run of the anime ended in March 29th of 19. Literally, pretty much right when the anime was, then it would get essentially a new 5 episode run November 21st, 19.
Hmm.
Interesting that they would release a game at the end of animes. Maybe they expected the second iteration to pop off 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting timeline how when this game got really over. Developed by Sun L, which pretty distinct in the Japanese market. Second Man Blade, Chimera Gaiden, Darkness, Light, Adventures.
That's a
I
nice lineup, actually, of games.
know we've talked about Miracle of East.
Yeah. We did Makamura Gaiden Demon Darkness as well, because that's Gargoyle's Quest. Or is it the second one?
Second.
I'm not sure. It's the second, yeah, okay, the Japanese exclusive one. Yeah. Talked about that as well.
Talking about Tekken Fight, Tekken Man Blade. We talked about them all briefly.
Yeah, we
Well,
mentioned
we
those
mentioned it.
games for sure.
We
Yeah.
never
I
made
mean,
episodes on it, but
yeah.
briefing
I mean, nobody can beat Tekken Man Blade anyway, so
through.
one day I will do it.
Um, game was published by Bandai. I couldn't find
Yeah.
much on the composing side of things at all for this. I even dug through credits and all sorts. I couldn't. So they must be an in-house composer, Sunel or Bandai. Music is genre is a platformer. If you're watching it live or watching on
Mm,
YouTube, you can see it right now in the video on the screen that it is a platformer. And the plot was something else to try and find. Like I've watched the anime prior to this to like see how things. But
yeah.
we don't have a Game Boy manual scan of this game, and I can't find a manual anywhere. So I dug out the anime plot. So have fun.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, I haven't seen it at all. I don't even know if it's good or not. But
Not bad.
yeah. I mean, looks fine. I guess.
It's an early
The
'90s anime.
yeah, I mean, it go can go either way. It's like a very specific anime, so I don't know. It's probably not for everybody. But yeah, this is indeed the plot of the anime. So the Iron League, a place where teams of robots under individual owners, quote unquote, play various sports and duke it out in tournaments. Mark Windy is a member of Dark Prince, a team that doesn't play fair and fights dirty to win. Unsatisfied with the actions of his teammates, he defects against the will of Dark Prince's nefarious owner and joins Silver Prince, the weakest team in the league. Alongside faithful companions such as Magnum Ace and Bull Armor, Mac Windy and Silver Prince will battle against Dark Prince in games of soccer and baseball and aim for the top. So there you
Pretty,
go.
pretty
It's
spot on to the game as well too.
yeah, yeah, kinda. So yeah, it's sports robots. That's the plot basically.
Sports mechs, yep.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. And if anybody was wondering what our cold open was, like this is the link between them. I mean, it's Dark Prince or Silver Prince, and we mentioned. We referenced When Doves Cry from Prince, the artist.
Oh, see, I was thinking you were doing when boys cry from Both Legs in Harmony. Oh, okay.
No, no, no.
I like Prince, but that was not the first thing. All right, all
That's always the first song that comes to mind when I think of Prince.
right.
So,
Purple
yeah.
Rain.
Yeah, but I mean, that would be harder to make the bots
Yeah,
references.
no, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So gameplay, game controls for this game are actually pretty weird because every character's controls are different. Um, you have your jumps and your attacks, but every character has a unique to them. Where like the kendo stick guy, if you're going up a log vertical segment, he will stick the kendo stick into the wall, allow you to climb up the wall. Your basketball guy will let you high jump. Your American footballer, we'll get into it. Your American footballer can do like a tackle, which lets you go like gives you enough iframes to get certain things, spikes or objects coming at you. So like every character has a bit of a unique style to them. And you need to combine these styles later on into the game to get, which makes the controls even more curious because have, let's say, 5 different characters. Each one of them has a different health bar associated with. So if one of them dies, you can actually take health from another character and give them more, and give the character that died health to get through the stage. So you may think that you're locked or stuck on the stage, when in actuality, if you just hit your pause menu, go into your character select, and just take away some health from a healthy character and give it to a dead character, and progress. So it's actually a pretty interesting menuing, pretty interesting how interactive um with the characters. That's why we didn't
Hmm.
write out the controls. It's because like you have your normal attacks, you have your jumps, but everyone has a
Yeah, that's a good excuse uh, to say there because I just forgot.
Oh,
to
really?
be honest, I
Like
literally just forgot to write the
oh man.
controls down. But it's a good that is a good way to explaining it.
It's
Yeah,
up in
sure.
it's up in B to
It's
do
too
your
difficult to write them down, guys. Come on.
up in B to do certain stuff, down in B to do certain
It's
stuff.
yeah, it's actually true. So, but yeah, you do have the normal controls like A is jump, B is attack, uh, start is going to the menu where you can switch characters or uh,
If you press
get
select,
the health.
press select, you can bypass the pause menu. So a lot of times what people do when they play this game casually is that they'll pause the game, then select their character, go right into it. Otherwise, you can press select multiple times to scroll through your characters. Think about like when you're playing like Mega Man X on the Super Nintendo or Mega Man 7, you hit the L and R tabs at the top, you can switch between your power suits. Kind of similar idea where you press select on the Game Boy to go through your different characters.
Yeah, and I think maybe you can like it's a always a set order, but I think there's a combo with select to go backwards as well, if I remember correctly.
I don't
Uh,
remember. I do know it's a set order. It starts from the first
yeah,
character you get to
yeah.
whatever you get.
Mhm, mhm. There are actually not a lot of items in this game. Surprisingly, there's only two that I know. It's like some kind of energy bar, which is basically a small health refill for your current character, or an oil can, which is a big or maybe even full health refill. I'm not sure if it's just big or full.
Big. Nothing for
It's
health.
big.
Nothing for healing.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's a big refill, and that's all the items in this game, as far as I can remember. And I just played it, so maybe I just missed a few items. I don't know because yeah,
That's about right. There's not that many
yeah.
items in the stages either. Like, there's not many items
Mm-hmm.
in general, and the stages are very stingy at giving you stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to rely on a lot on your health pool sharing, which early on in the game is pretty much non-existent. One or two characters.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going into stage one, which is the city. Um, Start off with the baseball and the karate. Um, Very simple stage. This is basically just introducing you to the game, like most Game Boy games. One. Um, you have to go through. You have to understand that the baseball guy can throw baseballs. Have a ranged attack. Nice to have, especially in parts of the stage. More specifically, the football field, because the football field is kind of full with enemies. And if you attack them, pretty well set. Your karate bot's not too bad because it has like a big uppercut. So there's some jumps that your baseball guy can't just naturally. You have to flip to the karate guy to do uppercut to get onto the next platform. The uppercut is actually nice too because there are flying enemies that are just not possible to hit with your baseball guy, so you have to up. You eventually come across the boss, which is Kendo Bot or the Kendo Mech. The first time I fought this guy, he down pretty good because I just thought I could tank him. But the cool thing about this game, at least from what I can remember, is that if you do lose a mech to the boss doesn't refill its health. You can kind of just continue where you left off. So if you lose your
Yeah.
baseball guy, now you have your karate guy. The boss mech doesn't regain health at all. You kind of just swap to the other mech.
Yep.
Um,
That's true.
After a while, you beat the kendo mech, and then kendo mech is like, "Oh my god, you guys are so strong! I want to be on your team." Then you basically acquire the mech. Honestly, probably the second or third best.
Yeah. Yeah, and just about time you get Kendo bot because stage 2 is the forest stage, and it's basically nothing but vertical movement in this
Sucks.
stage.
Yep.
Uh, it's constant climbing on walls to get higher up in this part of the game. And yeah, that's where Kendo bot or Kendo mech or I have no idea what all the names of the characters are.
I don't know the
Uh,
names of them. Yeah,
yeah,
I just know they're
so
mechs.
yeah, so you what you basically mostly will do is use karate bot to do an uppercut, which will take you very high, and then switch over to kendo bot to move up walls faster. There's nothing too special about the forest stage. Like stage 1 in the city, you start outside, you go into a sports center, and then you end up at a football field. So there's a little variety there. In this, it's literally just a forest. Like nothing really changes or anything. Um, but yeah, besides the vertical movement, I think they start introducing spikes as well in this stage. The first stage didn't really have those things. None of these will kill you in one hit, like in Mega Man, for example, so you can take damage. They changed this a little bit in a later stage. We'll talk about it then. But usually spikes or like spike balls and things like that um, will not kill you in one hit, which is good because you will probably fall on a
You would,
lot of them.
you would
Uh,
die quickly in
while
this game.
yeah. But yeah, nothing really special about this stage. At the end, you will actually face off against basketball bot,
Yeah,
who
basketball
isn't too bad really.
basketball
Um,
mech's pretty easy to. Um, I remember right. He does do a decent amount of damage. Either deals a decent amount of damage or he takes a lot of damage when you play at boss up. But basketball mech can throw. Well, doesn't throw. He lobs basketball. So arcing motion, tries for something. But when it comes down, it does bounce and it goes back up, and it's kind of like a bouncy. Um, I personally found basketball mech to be absolute never a. But once you've defeated the basketball mech, you go into a mini game that is unnecessary to win mini game. um,
yes.
there's no ways around it. So you're gonna play baseball. Your baseball, well, yeah, with your baseball. Um, and the goal is that you need to hit the balls back into another mech playing again. And the first time I did this, I thought it was just a mini game. Where like if I failed, I failed. Just move on to the next stage. No, if you fail, you die. You lose. So it's it's
Yeah.
it's a level, but it's a mini game that you have to win. The controls for the baseball bot aren't too bad. You can pretty well aim where you need it. The later mini games like basketball are a little bit more difficult, and soccer are a little bit more difficult. But the
Mm,
baseball one's not too bad. That one probably has the most control of them. Once you've
yeah.
good,
The thing is that like it's all RNG,
yeah,
like how the pitcher, yes, pitcher, is gonna throw the ball. So you cannot really anticipate everything, and some of the throws are just unavoidable. You will get hit by them. Not that you have health or anything, but uh, it just, yeah, it's just annoying. And you have to hit him 4 times, I believe, because you have to make a home run basically. Uh, yeah. So yeah, it's quite annoying after a while if you keep getting like balls that you cannot hit at all. Plus, sometimes the angle when you hit them back is just so awful that it will uh, not hit the the other bots. So yeah, it's the mini games in this are more of a chore than they are fun to do, basically.
Well, some of the mini games, like I like the basketball mini game. It's just hard. Um,
Yeah.
but once you've defeated the mech at the baseball field, on to stage 3, which is the ice world. This world, it's an ice world. It has ice physics, so prepare to slide. And you don't really have a lot of characters to help you prevent sliding. Your kendo guy will help you with vertical segments, but like traditional ice physics, you will jump to try and stop yourself.
Mm,
This is
yeah.
how this one's going to be. But for the ice world, you can probably guess what the boss is going to be. If about sports, but this stage here got a little carried away with spikes. Um, because if you're in an ice world, you need to have you need to have death pits, you need to have spikes. Them the rules when you're making an ice stage. Remember that. Future developers, if you're ever making an ice world, death pits and spikes. Them the rules. They've been the rules since the 80s. Um, but this world got a little carried away with the spikes. Not like the underwater cave, but this stage they get a little carried away with the spikes. Um, Once you get to the end of this one, you face off against the hockey mech, ice hockey, and you would we missed a mech.
No, we didn't. Like after the baseball mini game, the American football mech
That's what it
joins your
was.
team. So he's kind of useful in Ice World because you can basically, with his
Slide through this.
charge up attack, you can fly over everything. But the mechanics of him are a little bit weird. Like sometimes you go super far, sometimes you don't, and yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes it's just annoying to line up where you want to go. So,
I couldn't remember when we got the American football mech, not
yeah.
football mech, American football mech. Because if it was football mech, it's gonna be this soccer mech. That. So yeah, I forgot when we got the American football mech. So the American football mech, like I said, when he used his dash attack, he has iframe, so you take damage while dash. The problem is that there's a little bit of a cooldown between where you can dash again. So if you're dashing and you're still in spikes, you're at least going to take 1 to 2 hits of damage.
Mhm.
Um, so you can't just dash, dash, dash. You can't be like Pluto for Mega Man 5 game. You have to kind of know how long of a thing. Like I said, you're on ice. You're gonna be jetting pretty. He's actually already hard to control when you're. Hockey bot. Don't use the basketball guy because the basketball guy gets absolutely dumpstered when he just takes it. Like you have some characters that take a ton of damage when they get hit. You have some characters that don't take it. They actually have a little bit of stat priority too. Obviously, the American football guy is basically your tank. He doesn't take a ton of damage when he gets bodied, but like your basketball guy gets rocked pretty.
Mhm.
So, so it's finding that fine balance. I still think the basketball guy is worth. I end up using like the guy for most things.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you beat the hockey bot's like, "Wow, I like you guys." And he's a hockey guy. I don't think I used.
I don't think anybody has ever used hockey balls. Like, I might have the first time I played the game, but
Yeah,
I can't even remember what he does, to be
he
honest.
hits a puck in front of him. It's the most
Yeah, I mean,
it is the most inaccurate puck in the world. So
at least basketball guy can jump high. Oh, there's
yeah,
that. But hockey guy, yeah, whatever.
hockey guy is useless. I bet he'd be really good at Ice World.
Yeah, which he just beat. So there you go.
But then we
Oh
have
boy.
probably arguably the second, in my opinion, the second hard.
Yeah.
That's basketball. So basketball is a tough one because traditionally when you're playing like a shooting gallery game, shoot when the crosshair is on the target. You don't have to lead shots at all, right? So traditionally you shoot it when the crosshair is. However, in this game, you have to heavily lead your shot. It means like if the net is on like this half of the screen, you need to be standing like right here to shoot. Because by the time you shoot, the net will be right here. Because there is a long travel distance. On top of that, you have a flying mech that is swatting the basketballs back at you, which are bombs, by the way. Hit, you start to lose health. And he's trying to block your shot, so he's trying to move along with the net. So you need to shoot the ball way ahead of time and hope that the mech doesn't get to you, smack the ball back at you, blow you up. Like it's arguable, in my opinion, it's the second hardest.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Um,
It's a fun time.
one whip. Then but you do your Kobe things, your LeBron thing, whatever era basketball. And once you finish that, I think you get to score 4 baskets. And
I think three, yeah.
then you move on to, in my opinion, probably the second hardest stage.
Yeah. I guess it's not hard but annoying to
Yeah.
navigate more than anything else. Because you immediately go underwater at the start of the stage. It's not like segmented water. It's just underwater the entire time. And it has a lot of vertical movement with walls that are too far from each other to use Kendo Guide just to get up there. Um, what they want you to do is basically jump on these bubbles, which you can't really see because the screen is so tiny and they have a weird pattern. So it takes a lot of time. Of course, you have water physics, so everybody moves a little different than they should move. Like, so everybody jumps higher. There's like floating when you go down, and you just move a little slower throughout the water. But yeah, it's basically navigating these big gaps with spikes at the bottom. So if you fall down, you get hurt constantly. Just trying to make your way through this cave. So your best bet is basically to use basketball guy to jump really high. Use Kendo to stick to a wall until a bubble comes around. And if you know the stage and you know where the platform is that you need to jump to, you can use the American football guy to just dash over the thing instead of using the bubble puzzle. The bubble puzzle, like you would think, like in Mega Man 4, you have Dive Man, right, with the bubble puzzle, or Mega Man 9 with Bump Man. Uh, they have kind of the same setup, but it's not as good as that because you can't really see the bubbles, so it gets pretty annoying. But anyways, if you make it through the underwater cave, you guessed it, you will fight Soccer Bot.
Yeah, soccer mech.
But for I don't know what he's doing underwater. Maybe he's playing under like water polo or something. I have no idea what he's doing underwater, but there he is. Like that. I guess they didn't really know what to do with soccer bots, so they just put him in underwater. I mean, otherwise the stage would have been like just a plain field, like which
Well,
would have been better than the underwater cave, to be honest. Uh, but yeah, here's soccer bot, and of course he shoots soccer balls at you. Like
makes
that's his
explosive
thing.
soccer balls.
Yeah.
But something to note with the underwater stage is that most games when you're underwater have a swimming animation. This game you don't. You literally play it like a normal platformer stage. So even though you are
Mhm.
underwater, you're still walking
Yeah.
of a different mindset. But the next part is once you unlock your soccer bot, next is soccer.
Yeah.
Uh, which
Everybody's favorite
which
minigame.
in my opinion, this is probably the hardest mini. Uh,
Agreed.
hands down, the hardest mini. If you're watching this on YouTube or if you've been watching it on stream, notice that the soccer mini game was basically going on for the last 25 minutes, basically. Because
Is that
that's
my video that
no,
you're
it's
using?
my video.
Oh, because I had the same problem, really.
Yeah. So you once now that you have the soccer mech, you play soccer. It just makes sense. And you're on a giant soccer pitch, and if you get tackled, you have to start over. Get the shot blocked, you have to start over. If you shoot the ball too soon, you have to start over. If you take the ball out of bounds, you have to start over. So everything is against you. So if one wrong thing happens to you, you got to start over. And you are timed. There is a time limit.
Hmm.
Um, and the goal of the soccer game was to do well. Or so as you're running down the pitch, you need to avoid getting tackled. And as you're running down the pitch, you need to pass the goalie. Simple enough, especially for a Game Boy game. However, on a Game Boy, the screen is stupidly small for how big the sprites are. The sprites are gigantic, the screen is tiny, and they don't even technically have to hit you in order to hit you. That's how bad the hitboxes are in the soccer mini. So, what I found that worked for me is never stop jumping. Because in this mini game, you're allowed to jump for some reason, and when you jump, you take the ball with you. I don't know how that physics works out, but it works out in your favor. I literally just ran down the center, and I would always jump. I would never stop jumping. And then when I got to, you're gonna have to correct me on my soccer terminology here. I don't know what the perimeter is around the like a name for
The
that.
penalty box, I guess.
So once you get to the penalty box, is when you're kind of clear to shoot the ball. And you're kind of just you're at the grace of luck sometimes to get it past the goal. Sometimes that goalie is an all-star, all American, all world, whatever I call it, FIFA Cup champion goalie. And then sometimes the goalie is me, where he's on the completely other side of the goal, not paying attention. So a little bit of luck involved with that as well too. But the hardest part is getting to the goalie. That's honestly
Yes.
the hardest part. And you have to score. I think it's like what 4 goals, 3 goals.
3 goals, yeah.
So, um, hard. Like I said, this is probably by far the hardest
Yeah.
you'll
So
encounter.
about the timer, you have 180. Wow. Yeah, there goes my brain. 180 seconds. So you would think, hey, 3 minutes to score 3 goals. That's nothing, right? But it's really not that easy. Plus, if you jump, your timer actually decreases by 10 seconds each time you do that. So, yeah. If you're unlucky, by using your strategy by jumping constantly, you might just run out of time anyways because you keep jumping.
Well, the nice part about this game, it has unlimited continues.
Yeah, that's
So
true. So it doesn't really matter, but yeah, I got stuck on this for a long time, for sure. And I didn't realize jumping was decreasing my timer either, because sometimes I was like, "Hey, why is it over already?" I just restarted, and then I realized, oh, this is what's happening. Oh,
I
yeah.
I didn't realize it at first. Then I figured it out. I was like, oh, it's still easier. Just gotta get lucky. So I
Yeah,
just kept
if
doing it.
you're lucky enough, it helps for sure. Yeah, I don't even remember how I did it eventually. I got through it, but it took way too long. Yeah. I don't know if you get another guy after
I don't
doing
think we do,
this.
because this takes you
I
right
think
into the
it's 6.
because it takes you
Yeah,
right into the final stage. Which
yeah.
again, if
We
you're watching it live right now, you're getting to see hell that I had to is
oh, it's so good.
what
So
a
yeah,
dumb
stage
stage.
5 is basically Dark Prince's evil lair thing, I would assume, because it's not themed after anything. It's like an evil factory, or like that's the best I can come up with.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, this stage starts with one of the worst things in this game. Well, one of the worst. No, it is. It just is the worst thing in this
It's the
game,
worst thing in the game.
which is a horrible choose your correct path auto scroller again between no, not brackets, between quotes. Um, you basically land on a platform at the start of the stage, which just starts moving, and then you have split paths and you have to choose a correct path. If you go to the incorrect path, however, you will run into spikes or just fall off, and the floor is also spikes. Unlike the spikes that you saw through the rest of the game that just hit you, these are all one hit kills. So, and you're not even switching characters, by the way. It's you fall, you're dead. Restart the stage. So that's fun. And yeah, the pad is not like, at least I think it's only trial and error. Maybe there's something in the background that tells you somehow which path you are supposed to take. I don't think so. I think it's literally trial and error. And it's quite long. That's why in the speed run, people will use some tricks to like fly over a section of this stage. But yeah, it's just horrible part of the game right there.
Yep. Um, the only spikes that won't kill you outright are the spikes on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get to the ceiling, get spiked, character is stuck in the ceiling. So you might as well.
Yeah.
When you get past this hell slot of a choose your path, you get to do more. Uh, it's not an auto scroll. Well, it's kind of an auto. You get to do more auto scrolling platform stuff where you have to choose the right platform to get across another pit of spikes. Um, but if you game over at any point in the stage, you get to start stage 5 over again, which means you have to do path. So you didn't remember your path the first time. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. This is this is where I found either karate or the basketball guy to be handy to start because they have the high jump. Like when you get to the second piece, you can actually high jump to basketball. I'm watching the video of the basketball guy because you can high jump to one of the first blocks of the second part of the stage, which and he can float down. Another special
Mm,
basketball guy
right.
has. So, um, so when you're doing that, you can jump over the spikes and jump. You kind of skip pieces. Then you want to use American football guy because he is your dash guy. When you know you're at the end, dash to the end. Get out of there as
Yeah.
fast as possible.
Yeah. And after a while, you get to some like conveyor belts and things like that are just annoying to navigate. But at least when you're in that part of the stage, you can't die to spikes anymore. That just obliterate you. it was a weird choice. But yeah, once you see that you're basically in the clear, but you still have to take it easy, that you do not waste all of your energy throughout the stage for this last part, so you don't have to redo all that other crap you had to deal with earlier. Uh, but yeah, after a while, you will face off against the final boss of this game, which is Dark Prince. And Dark Prince is technically really easy. The problem is the stage where you have to fight him is is horrible because there's spikes at both sides of the stage, and there's two conveyor belts in the middle that always push you into the spikes. So fighting him can be quite of a hassle because you have to deal with those stage hazards during the fight. Um, what you can do if you have enough health is just tank it basically by standing in the spikes using your iframes to do damage to him. But of course, that's not the way the game intended you to do it. Uh, and again, Kendo guy is basically your damage dealer, so uh, try to use him the most to do most of the damage to the boss, basically.
Yeah. Much it though. I found this fight to be one of the easier fights, even with the weird. Oh, found this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you have so many characters, so I mean, you can just use the health pools of them all to get through it, even though it's an annoying navigation uh, part of the game, but that's fine. And the good news is, if you would die on a boss, if you continue on the boss, so you don't have to redo a stage again. So at least they did that. So you do not have to deal with the stupid auto scrolling part anymore. No.
And then yeah, you beat Shippuu. I don't know, you beat Dark Prince. The Silver Prince is now victorious, quote unquote, weak team in league. And end. Baller music. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, well, it's a cool game. It's a very fair game. Um, Mini games I find to be fair, but the levels themselves I find to be pretty fair as long as you figure out what each character is. It definitely has a pretty nice learning curve to it. It's just final stage design kind of kills quite a bit because you go from a
Mhm.
pretty well designed game to having to deal with stage 5, which is pretty bad. So it's really unfortunate that it ends on that note. But for the most part, this is a game I do recommend. Super.
Yeah, I feel like platformers with different characters with different abilities, like this is definitely one you need to check out because it's it's uh
A
it's a
very
fun time.
it's a very involved game.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. With that, let's dive into the cover art. So since this is a Japanese exclusive, we have to cover. And in my opinion, it's probably one of the more mediocre Japanese cover art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
uh,
It's probably just a promotional image from the anime, I would say. Uh,
yeah, it's
one of the mangas, maybe. Yeah. It it kind of resembles like a Mega Man poster, but
surprised.
the character designs are not as interesting as the Mega Man robots, like the Robot Masters. So and they just put them like they just put them on there. Like they really didn't
Rhyme
set
or
them
reason
up.
for it. Oh,
Yeah, they're just there really.
yeah, it looks like they. I don't know if they ripped off a cover verbatim, but they definitely took the artwork from the manga
Yeah.
and signed it. I'm looking at
Hmm.
the covers. Definitely did
Yeah.
that sort. But Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty mediocre cover cover for Japanese standards, in my opinion. The Japanese ones, they have very nice artwork, and they're very styled, and they're very they flow, and they just look very nice. Um, but this one, for those listening, you have baseball guy front and center, Win.
Hmm.
He's front and center in a baseball. Then to the right of him is the soccer guy. Going up, it looks like hockey dude, basketball person above them. Left of them, it goes football band, Endo Man. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm also wondering who is the guy, the second on the
I
left.
don't know. I mean, it would be the karate guy, I guess, right?
Oh yeah, it's the Karate Guy. There you go. Good song, by the way. Karate Guy. If anybody knows that song,
I do
by
not. I do not know this.
yeah, you have to look it up then. Ah, what is it from? From that movie
Bro,
with Andy and with Andy Samberg. Uh,
you need to go watch. You need to go listen to the song from that one movie that I don't know the title to. All right, all
where he
right.
plays the pop star. Is it just called Pop Star? Is that the name?
Don't like it.
You haven't. Oh come on, he's like most hilarious person ever. Well, not ever, but he's hilarious at least. Not a super great movie, but there are a lot of good bits in it. And it's from this. It's in the movie as well, but you can also just listen to the soundtrack, which is basically the Lonely Island album, but they
See, there's only a
really.
handful of Lonely Island songs that I can.
I love Lonely Island, and I think it's Pop Star, but I don't remember what his name in the movie is. But yeah, it's one of the songs from that. It's a very short song. It's only like a minute or something.
Huh. All right. Well, you can see I beat the game, so
Yeah.
it just says the end. Like, you don't get credits. It's presented by Bondi. The end. So you can see why I had trouble finding.
Yeah.
That screen right there, though, on the end screen, that is from a manga cover. They regenerated it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, One little trivia. The characters reappear in a game called Super Robot Wars Nintendo Wii.
That I do not know.
I don't know that game. I don't know the Wii library very well. But if you are wanting to play as the characters in the Robot War game, for Robot Wars Neo, a video game for the Nintendo Wii. I don't know if it was a worldwide release.
Sounds Japanese, at least.
Oh wow, they have a lot of cool stuff in here. So Super Robot Wars franchise are marked with so Iron League, Lord of Lords Reunite, um, and do Get a Robo. A bunch of other ones in here, but like the fact that they added them,
Yeah.
hey, oh, just like an actual like fight
Yeah, sounds like it for sure. Yeah.
on it. But general reception of the game, I couldn't find much about the game, but the anime, people like the anime. Anime was fairly well received. Like I said, it was a pretty popular anime. I watched a few episodes. If you're into early '90s anime, probably like Iron League. If anime wasn't your thing in the '90s, you like the super flashy stuff like in Death Note and stuff like that, you probably giant leaguer. Oh, um, yeah. With that, we're gonna take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll give you our thoughts and history of the game, and along with events, etc. etc.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go grab a water. Yeah, people in chat were heading into the question section as well, and I don't think we have any questions. So, if you do have any questions about the game or otherwise, yeah, feel free to drop them in the chat, of course. I mean, this is live.
We are live. We are live.
Just so you know, this is actually live. So.
This is not a replay.
Not that the banner would help. This is not a replay. But yeah, I'll be right back.
Any big weekend plans, chat? Saw the new Pokemon movie in chat and really part of the Pocahontas. Name of this game is called Shippuu Iron Leaguer. It was a Japanese exclusive Game Boy game that came out in 1994. Yeah, no problem. Check it out. Very cool game. We're going into the closing segments right now of the episode, but if you're looking for a very involved, very cool platformer based off an anime, go check out this game. It's good. We're listening to music from it right now. It's a pretty big Mega Man vibe to it. But the people that made this game made some really good other Japanese exclusives. Tekken Blade, Miracle V Sparks. Right.
Here we are again.
Welcome back. How's Pixel doing?
Hopefully sleeping. I don't know. He's downstairs. So.
Good. Welcome back, everyone. Thoughts and history of the game. Mo, we'll start with.
Okay, yeah. So this is a game I played or discovered through portable pleasure. Like I had no idea of its existence, and I didn't know the anime either. So the name didn't ring a bell either. Um, the first time I played it, I wasn't really too fond of it. I felt that the characters controlled quite stiff. The mini games took me way too long to beat because how they are programmed, I guess. And then, like we said earlier, the stupid death maze of stage 5 started to annoy me after a while, but eventually I got through it. When I replayed it, I think I did it in preparation for Tiny 10 or something, because we did
Yeah.
put it in Tiny 10 one time. I liked it better for sure, because I understood more on how to use the ability of the characters and in what situations you needed to use them in. The mini games were still annoying as hell, but I mean, yeah, they're just there to annoy you, probably. Um, but yeah, I think this is a really cool concept because it's like it's sports, but it's a platformer. You don't really see that very often. Like I guess like Itchy and Scratchy miniature golf like is another platformer that's integrates sports elements into it, which is really cool. But of the games, like this resembles Tekken Fight in a way because you also have 4 characters that you can switch between and you can use their unique abilities to progress through the level. And I think Tekken Fight is way more polished than this game is. I don't know if it came out later or earlier than this game. Not sure. Uh, I would guess later, uh, seeing how much more polished it is. But yeah, I would rather play that game than this game. Oh, uh, like did I mean, we mentioned Tekken Fight. I don't think we did an episode on it, right?
Tekken Fight
Um,
came out in 1993.
oh, so it came before this even. Yeah, weird that. Yeah, because it's probably the same engine, I would assume.
Same
Uh,
developer, but published by Banpresto. Know
yeah,
anything about Japan?
yeah,
Banpresto had his hand in everything.
yeah. But yeah, I think Tekken Fight is a better game in the kind of same genre, like a platformer with multiple characters and different abilities. Uh, I would suggest that one before this, but I would suggest to check this one out because a lot of people do really, really like this game. It's for me, it's decent enough, but I think Tekken Fight is a few steps above it and a lot cleaner to play through. But yeah, those are my thoughts about this game.
I uh I can't remember how I found this game. I was either watching you play it or I just got done playing Tekken and and then I went on the exploration of like I typically and went and looked for random Japanese platformers. I came across this game which sounded similar enough to Tekken Fight. I don't know how I made, but I made the game sound similar enough to Tekken. Yeah, yeah, we'll check it out. I played it and I was like, all right, this game is similar to Tekken. And I played it. I My initial thoughts of it was I didn't have the manual, so it was really hard for me to understand what was going on. And my initial thoughts of the game was, I'm like, yep, it's a basic platformer. And the boss fights are really stupid because the boss will just go to wherever you are. There's no rhyme or reason to their patterns at all. They just go to where you are, pick whatever, or throw whatever stuff they have at you. But I got to stage 2. My kendo guy died. I used the kendo guy for everything, and I thought I was stuck. I was like, well, I'm like, crap. Like, how am I supposed to climb this? Like, I can't jump it. Like I can't do anything. Like what the heck? And that was when I realized that you can take away health from a character. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like an attribute point. And then I realized that you can give it to it. And I was like, oh my god, this game actually has depth. So I went from mediocrely not liking the to almost falling in love with the game as soon as I figured out how just in depth the game can base off of just health shit. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the mini when I first entered the mini games, like I said, I thought they were just mini games. I didn't realize they were necessary mini games. So the first time I did it, like I failed the baseball game. And I lost. I had game over. And I was like, what? Like this is a mini game. Like why is this okay? So um after a while I get the hang of the game. I started to understand how each unique skill worked in each level and kind of just understood the flow of the game. Until I got to the soccer mini. Then once I got to the soccer mini game, I I think I used every swear word in my library, multiple languages. I couldn't do it. I was so mad. Like it took me almost a half hour just to beat the soccer mini game. Then I went from loving the game, being very frustrated with the game. Then once I beat it, I was like, ah, oh, that feels good. I finally beat the soccer mini game. Then I got to stage 5. I was stuck in stage 5 for just as long as the goddamn soccer mini game because that stupid death maze at the start of stage 5. I was like, this is dumb. Like, this went from being probably one of the better Japanese exclusive games that I've played to now I just want to burn this cart because stage 5 is awful and the soccer mini game sucks. And it would be okay, it would be fine if the final boss fight was an actual challenge. If the final boss fight was an actual boss fight, that would be fine. But you know what? You know what? The only thing that makes the final boss fight hard is the spikes on the end of the damn platform. That's the only thing that makes the boss fight hard. Otherwise, it reacts just like every other boss in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Use the
Mm-hmm.
baseball guy, throw baseballs at him, jump to the other side, throw baseballs at him, you win the game. Like, so frustrating. It's still a good game. I still recommend people playing it, but man, I was so. Um, I do like the game still. I like most of Sun L's game. Miracle of East Parks, Teku still can't beat Tekka Man Blade or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but that was my issue. I didn't know about the anime at all until I did more research for the podcast. Like I assumed it was based off an anime because just by the sheer style of the game, you just kind of assume that this was made off of an like Ultraman and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So but like I said, I watched a few episodes. It was okay. But that's where I am with the. I'm glad I forgot we had it at the time.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, because like I said before, there a lot of people really do like this game, and it's also a fun speed run actually. Oh, it's like 15 minutes or something like that. Yeah. Oh, typical Game Boy length for a speed run, I would say. Uh, and with the unique mechanics that this game offers, it's actually fun to fool around with it. So yeah.
Retro. I would assume this game.
No, this
Surprise
one
me.
does not, but Tekken Blade has. Good luck getting those if you can even beat the game.
Easy
Uh,
game, dude. What do you mean? Um, there is a speed run.
yeah, I think the record stands at like 14 minutes and something uh, at this point. Um, and most of the submissions come from when we did the Tiny 10. Uh, oh. They're like I said, they're around 15 minutes, so it's not a hard game to learn at all.
But
Oh,
Nirm has the record, and it's 6 years,
yeah.
1427. Smart Alec, Ariel.
Hmm. Yeah, there's probably potential to get it down lower
Oh
if
yeah.
anybody wants to put in the time for it. So, yeah.
Looks like there's only one category. Any person. I don't know how you get more categories.
No. People always
Unless you
find
do like
ways.
base off of per mech, like baseball mech only.
Oof.
Which I don't
Which
know how
wouldn't
you would
even work.
do because you can't beat the game
Yeah.
that way. Um, this is how often I've signed into 13.
Oh.
Uh, um, let's see here. Community events time. Yay, community events. Some of the stuff won't be Game Boy exclusive around here. We got the Mario. So we got the the Mario Marathon, the Mar 10, whatever you want to call it. RGL's putting it on. Mario event March 10th. So Mario spells it out. Yeah, go with it. March 10th to March 12th, Mario Marathon. So basically exclusively all Mario stuff, new and old. I'm actually pretty stoked to do Mario Golf. Then we have Retrothon, probably one of my favorite here. April 23rd to April 30th at Retro Game Live TV Leaves edition.
Yeah, but maybe not when this. Well, if you're
Probably
watching this
not when
live,
this is.
yes, but
If you're watching
yeah,
it
when it
right
comes out,
now,
maybe not. I don't know.
in chat right now, it you listening to this, missed your shot. Um,
Hey, that works. Cool. There you go.
look at you, just knowing all the robot commands. Um, bit of Jazz Jackrabbit again. Like I don't know what else to submit. Like here's the thing with stuff for me. I don't run games, do games. All the games I do run, like other people run, and they run better now. I'm just like, I don't even know what
Hmm.
to do. I don't know what to do anymore. Not Game Boy related, but Retro Gaming Live related. Have the N64 Sprint reveal, March 18th during Retro Gaming. I actually found some. Uh,
Impossible.
it's not possible at all.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. You have Banjo Kazooie,
That's not even.
and the list stops there, really. So,
There's only one good N64. Two good N64. Yoshi Story
oh boy.
and GoldenEye. There's the only two good N64. And we lost all of our followers. Let's see. We got Midwest Speed Fest 2023 coming up April 16th. This is done by Midwest Speed Fest, and this is actually their last year. Meet up with 2DCon, which is a convention. Um, that'll be the last year of those two up together with a new home. But if you are in the area, since it's a person event, watching this live, they are accepting volunteer applications. End of the day today. If you are interested in volunteering or hosting Speed Fest that's hosted in Minneapolis, Minnesota, go ahead and shoot off an app. For games done quick, 2023, May 28th to June 4th. Crazy early.
Yeah,
um,
just about to say that's really early.
crazy early.
That's like
A month
not
earlier than
even
normal.
summer, to be honest,
Yeah.
but all right.
It's like a month. It's a month earlier than normal. I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's because um they had to do stuff at the hotel. I think the contract or whatever might have came up, and
Right.
they had to do some stuff with them. That might be why it's so early. But May 28th and June 4th posted. Submissions are open until March 7th. I didn't realize submissions were open until today. So I don't follow GDQ that close anymore, but submissions are open till March 7th. So get your. I'm assuming it'll be a bit of a hybrid. Maybe they haven't discussed the location yet, so I could potentially see a bit of a hybrid depending on where the. All I got for stuff. As you can see, we're getting into marathon.
Mhm.
Um, I know Power Up with Pride will probably start about their Power Up with Pride Summer Edition, um, along with other marathons coming down the pipeline. So, that's all I got for that.
Yeah. So again, like in our Discord, we don't really have. Oh well, there went my Discord screen. Okay, that was weird. We do have some comments about this game because a lot of people checked this game out when we announced that we're gonna do an episode on this. Oh yeah, Lex. I knew Lex actually really likes this game, and Tech You Fight as well. Um, 2-bit crook in our Discord was listening to the OST, which which they think it slaps, which is true.
Good.
It's a really good soundtrack. Ariel, one of the people who ran this game during Tiny 10, said this would actually be the perfect video game if it weren't for those stupid mini games. Yeah,
I agree.
and if Stage 5 didn't
Stage
exist, I
5.
guess.
Yeah.
But and Josh said this is one of his favorite Tiny 10 games that they've played, so
Oh,
that's cool. Um,
other fun fact about this. I believe it was in a.
oh wow, yeah, I
I was
do not
doing
remember, but
some.
um, Casino played through the game. He had some thoughts about, or they had some thoughts about this. That this is a fun one, far from the best Game Boy platformer. Uh, but I liked using all the different characters. Yeah, absolutely. It feels kind of sacrilegious to say, but I feel like this would be better suited for Game Boy Advance, with high resolution and more detailed character sprites. Um, Also, bleep that last memorization level and the football minigame. uh, Also, think the music is good and try to watch some of the anime, but the character designs are just ugly.
They are. They are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Ian ran this at AGDQ 2017.
oh, there we go. Yeah.
16 minutes. I didn't. I remember I was doing. I was like, this game.
Yeah, I do not remember at all, but yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's about all we had from our Discord at least. So unless there's still questions lingering in the live chat here, uh, we can move on to our amazing outro, like always.
Our very well scripted outro.
Yeah.
All right. If you have any thoughts and suggestions, I just started reading like by the audience. If you, the audience, have any thoughts and suggestions for the podcast, please let one of us know. We're always here to try and make the podcast better for not only us but you all too. That you all listen to it, um, as entertaining as we can. Like I said, like we've put a bit of time into the live stream now to make things flow a lot easier for us and get up and running a lot faster as well. We got chat working finally over there on the right hand side. So I finally got that up and running. So it's just we're trying to get things up and better and looking production wise. have any ideas on all that we can do to do better, or if you're liking some of the stuff we do already and just want to pat on the back, we're definitely all ears for that. I love passing it back. You can DM it to us via Twitter, Discord, add it to us in our chat. Uh, there's 100 different ways. But you can find me, eBloodyCandy, on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Just at eBloodyCandy. You can find our awesome, wonderful producer, SprintingLegs on Twitch and Twitter, Legs on YouTube, and then check out her um, project website, www.sprint.com, where you actually find the Game Boy database and are ever working. And since I know Legs is going to listen to this, start accepting my goddamn manual submission. Um, where can they find you, Mo?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube for gaming related stuff like the live streams or the videos. And Twitter, I usually just use for announcing when I go live or giving like very short comic reviews when I finished reading a comic. You can also find me on Instagram, which is more non-gaming related, I would guess. It's just
Comics.
whatever I come up with or whatever I add to my collection and things like that. So, not that I post super often or anything. I don't have that much to say, really. I'm a pretty boring person to begin with. But yeah, that's more just pictures of stuff I get. So yeah, that's all I have when it comes to socials.
All right.
Unless you want to add me on LinkedIn for my professional profile, which also no. I mean,
Don't add
but
me
then
on
you, yeah,
LinkedIn.
don't. I hate LinkedIn. I think it's one of the worst platforms there is. But
I have
uh,
it because I have to have one. Only reason I have
indeed,
one.
yeah. If you are working for a company, you need one. So yeah. Plus, I have like I'm communications. What would you call officer, employee, whatever. I do the
Officer.
communic. Yeah, I don't know what you can call it 700 different things, but I'm in charge for communication for my company, both
Manage.
internally and externally. So, of course, I have to use LinkedIn. So,
Office.
but I hate it. I don't know. What are you gonna call it? Yeah, there's. I mean,
I
it's
wear
like
too
this.
many hats to have just one title.
True. Yeah, well, that's why over there it's just called communications.
I do just do more than like I do communication. I do front end development. I do systems administration, network administration, building. There's the hat just keeps stacking.
Yeah.
So like when they like, it's always funny when someone asks me like, "Oh, so what do you do here?" Well, where do I begin? By
Yeah.
day, by day, this is my title, but actually, what I do here, everything. Um,
Yeah.
oh,
It's all like communications is just a lot of things. Like it's social media manager, it's uh content copywriter, it's whatever. Like it's just a title.
true. At the end of the day, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, now you know what I do. Um,
Sure.
just don't we don't get the hot Twitch bucks like most people.
No.
Uh, gotta live. We do. We do have a Patreon, so if you do want to monetarily support the podcast, we do a Patreon where you can be a patron. Um, and there are multiple tiers. We still can't talk about, but so the tiers give you access to premieres of Haunt Hunter whenever and I get opportunities to record Haunt Hunter. Haunt Hunter is a Let's Play horror series of Mo and I basically trading trading times of playing horror games. So most recent was the Game Boy fishing horror game that Mo played, and the time before that was Yamawari Night Alone. So we take turns playing horror games. It's up on my YouTube.
Mhm.
Subscribe to me up. But you get first access, first premiere at those. Get to see reactions. You get to see like probably the more realistic side of Mo as well. So we don't use our aliases for content.
Yeah.
Um, pretty raw when it comes. Um, we also have PayPal. PayPal cool, but kind of sucks because you can't tie PayPal to anything. So if subscribing is not your thing, because everything in this world is just a giant subscription at this point. Uh, you give us some monies through PayPal. Please let one of us know so we can thank you, or do you, all that, because we just can't tie it. We also have a merch store, merch.thisisgameboy.com. Go get yourself a sweet shirt, a coffee mug. That's all we have up there right now. I know Mo is working on a new shirt design.
Mhm.
I want to get stickers.
Yeah.
so um, we're getting some stuff figured out and hopefully added to them. If money is a tough thing to come by, because money is hard, especially having gone through the peak of the pandemic. Just
Yeah.
listening to the podcast, watching us on Twitch or watching it on YouTube, and giving us a 5-star rating on all of your podcast things that you do. Not 4 stars, okay. We'll live with the 4 star. Anything below a 4, just round up to a 4 or 5. Uh, talk about how good the podcast is. That gives us a ton of support and a ton of recognition. It boosts the podcast more. Um, yeah, did I miss anything? Perfect outro.
Well, the only thing is you can find all of this on our website,
Oh
which
yeah.
is thisisgameboy.com, which is the easiest way to access everything you would need.
Oh,
Well,
we do have one more thing I forgot to add. Game Boy Jam. I don't have a lot of details.
right.
Gotta start plugging it. Game Boy Jam. Uh, so Game Boy Showdown. Game Boy Showdown 2023 will be running mid May. It's a game jam that will be on itch.io. Last year it had between 40 and 50. And Primal is trying to make a bigger thing this year. So if you are into Game Boy development, wanting to get into Game Boy development, there's a sweet piece of software out there called Game Boy Studio. I believe they're in the third iteration now. It's super easy to make something. Go play around with it. Go submit it. Doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Have fun. Um, it'll be kind of overlapping a little bit with you. So it'll be a little bit of a weird there involved with it. But we want to get a signal boost out there going for that as I get more know. But Bo and I will probably do an episode after the showdown. Go over the big games, the big takeaways.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll probably, because these episodes always release later than we record them, of course. But I'll make sure to use our Twitter account to uh, let people know what's going on when once we got more information. Yeah.
All right. Ooh, I like the next game. My favorite Wario game. Yeah, the next time you hear from Mo and I, we're talking about Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land. Not Super Mario
Yeah.
Land 2, not that dog shit. Mario Land 3.
Yeah, I don't think we've done a Super Mario Land episode either.
No, I
Did
wanted
we?
to, no,
No,
because
right?
we were gonna do Mario in all three shots. We're gonna do a
Oh, yeah. But I mean, there had been going some. Wow, yeah, that's a sentence that I can best start over again. People were talking in our Discord channel about Wario Land, so I was like, you know what? Let's just do an episode on it because uh, it's a popular game that more people know for sure, and it's very fun to talk about because I think it marked well it marked a true creation of the Wario character, which, in my opinion, is the best character that ever came out of the Mario franchise. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun to talk about that one.
Waluigi fans are up in arms right now.
I don't play Mario Tennis, so I don't know Luigi.
The Waluigi fans are up in
Uh,
arms right now. There are fire and pitchforks everywhere. Uh, but yeah, Wario Land 1, where it all started basically. Wario. So that'll be in March, April.
that will be in April, indeed.
I don't even know what my light up. Gotta do more Bible games. Um, but is the season.
Oh,
But
what is it? Lent right now?
I don't
Is that the word in English? Before Easter. Yeah, like we have a completely different word for it, so I don't know what it's called in English actually. Well, I do know, but I can't come up with
I
it right now.
I don't know what we're in right now. I'm not. I don't follow it. um,
Somebody will know what it is. I don't know either.
someone will correct us. It'll be a giant
Yeah.
YouTube comment. Oh, you know, yeah. But so yeah, until next time, thank you all for watching this live. Thank you all for watching it on YouTube. Thank you all for listening on your desired podcast platform. We appreciate you all. Until next time, see ya.
See y'all later.